Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. In the previous episode, we saw how Ravana uses a Shakti to kill Vibhishana. Lakshmana goes into the middle. He gets hit by it. SriRamachandra does a huge fight and he sends Ravana away. Ravana goes back into the city. In the meantime, Hanuman goes, gets the Sanjivaniparvata back. All the Vanaras are excited. Lakshmana is treated. Lakshmana is fine. Now, SriRamachandra goes near Lakshmana and he says, "Oh Lakshmana, if you would have died, what would have happened to me?" Lakshmana now says, "Oh brother, where is Ravana? I'll go and fight." That's how he wakes up. But then he says, "Oh brother, this is not what I wanted from you. Please ensure that before the sun reaches Astadri or before the day is over, ensure that Ravana is killed." Now Sri Ramachandra was worried for his brother, but now that the brother is strong and back, Sri Ramachandra comes back. In the interim, Ravana also comes out, and now both of them get ready and they start hitting each other. And now Sri Ramachandra is so angry. Ravanaya Saran Ghoran Nisvasarcha Chamu Mukhe Adhanyam Radhamasthaya Ravano Rakshasadibha Abhyadhavatah Kakustam Svarbha Nirva Bhaskaram. So Sri Ramachandra, the way he used arrows, they were hitting him so badly that Ravana now takes up another Ratha and he comes on to Sri Ramachandra, which essentially means his previous Ratha was damaged. Now Ravana is using the advantage of being on a Ratha, on a chariot, and he is hitting Sri Ramachandra, and this is being seen by Devendra himself. And now Devendra looks at his Sarathi, his charioteer Matali, and says, "Oh Matali, take my chariot, go to Sri Ramachandra, tell him that Devendra has sent this chariot, ask him to honor this chariot," means ask him to get onto this chariot and do the fight. And then the Sarathi says, "Oh Devendra, yes, sure, I am going to use the green colored horses." Now, why am I saying this specifically green is because of late there is a perception in all of us, right, that green is not the color of the Hindus. No, green is very much a part of our color. We should not leave it to any other community. We should reclaim green as one of the wonderful colors that we have because it talks about prosperity. Green is very much a Sanatani color. Yes, somebody else is trying to own it now, but no, we should take it back. For the war against Ravana, Sri Ramachandra uses the horses. Those horses were green in color, so that talks volumes here again. Matali quickly takes that and he comes down. What is Ravana doing in the interim? Ravana was being hit by Sri Ramachandra. He is getting away. He is actually losing pace and he is also getting away. In the meantime, Devendra Sarathi Matali comes. Matali does not come down, he does not prostrate, he is sitting in the chariot and he is saying, "O Sri Ramachandra, Sahasrakshena Kakustha Radhoyam Vijayate Dattastava Mahasattva Srivan Citravivarhana." O Sri Ramachandra, O killer of demons, O Kakustha, this is the chariot sent to you by Devendra himself. Sahasraksha actually means Devendra. So please get onto this chariot, please honor this chariot, and remember, this has got a huge kavacha. There are wonderful arrows in this, and there is a great Shakti also in this. Why did Devendra send a Shakti along to Sri Ramachandra? That we'll see. That how that Shakti is going to be used. We'll see. Aruhyamam Radham Veera. So he's saying, get onto this chariot. Rakshasam Jahi Ravanim, kill Ravana. Maya Sarathina Rajan Mahendra Yodanuman. The way Mahendra gets onto this chariot, Devendra gets onto this chariot and kills Rakshasas, the very similar way you get on this chariot. Ityukta Samparikramya Radham Tamibhaja Arroha Dadaramo Lokan Lakshmiya Virajayan. So Sri Ramachandra quickly does a pradakshina. So he honors everything. So he does a pradakshina to the Radha and he quickly gets onto the Radha, and by this time Ravana also is back, and now these two start fighting, and the fight is like the way it is described, it's huge. Initially Ravana uses Gandharvastra. Sri Rama also uses Gandharvastra, so he uses same weapon to negate it. Then Ravana comes out with Daivastra. Sri Ramachandra also uses Daivastra to counter it. Now Ravana uses Rakshasastra. Here lot of snakes, they come out all of a sudden onto Sri Ramachandra and they start throwing poison on him. And then Sri Ramachandra immediately uses Garutmatastra. That's Garudastra in normal sense. He uses that and he counters it. The moment Sri Ramachandra releases Garutmatastra, golden eagles will come out of his bow and they'll start doing short work of all those snakes that were coming in. Thus all the snakes are done, and Sri Ramachandra is clearly showing that he can handle Ravana quite easily. Ravana then quickly uses normal arrows on Sri Ramachandra. Sri Ramachandra starts replying to him in the same language, and in the meantime, Ravana, with his powers, with his strength, he starts hitting Matali, he starts hitting the Dhwaja of the Radha, and then also the Ashwas. The speed with which Ravana was putting arrows now, they were hurting Sri Ramachandra very badly. And Sri Ramachandra now for a moment, for the first time, he is on a back foot in this war, and all the Devatas, Gandharvas, Yakshas, Rishis, Pannagas, all of them were like, they were all in a sudden shock for the power of Ravana, and the way Sri Ramachandra was on a back foot, they all are suddenly taken aback. And then Sri Ramachandra gets very angry and he looks at Ravana. He just gives one look towards Ravana. These days we call it as a death stare, right? So that sort of a look he gives to Ravana. He looks at Ravana very, very seriously. And for that look itself, Ravana was now shocked. He's all of a sudden, he's afraid. And now even the earth gets shattered. Now I want to link this with one of the things that we learned at the start of our complete reading of Ramayana. Kasya bibhyasi devascha jataroshasya samyuge. If that man gets angry, even the devata should be afraid. Now Sri Ramachandra is angry. He is giving a very serious and a strong look. All of a sudden, even Ravana, he also is now very, very afraid. Even the earth, the ocean frequency with which the waves come, right, all of a sudden that increases. And you know, right, when there is a very rough weather on the sea, the way sea behaves, the sea is behaving like that. And then Ravana is now very, very afraid. Everybody who is watching this, they are all saying, oh, now Rama is going to win. And all the Asuras were now saying to Ravana, oh Ravana, you should win. All Vanaras, Devatas, everyone was looking at Rama and saying, you should win, you should win. And now Ravana picks up a shula that was very, very heavy. The very sight of the shula was frightening. So Ravana picks up such a shula and he throws it onto Sri Ramachandra. Sri Ramachandra uses all the weapons he knows onto that shula. None of them work. And as he's throwing the shula, Ravana makes such a huge noise that entire Vanaras, everyone was shocked when the shula was coming, because everyone was shocked. Sri Ramachandra is using arrows after arrows to break it. It was not working. Then Sri Ramachandra looks at the Shakti Ayuda which is there in the Ratha, which Indra has sent, and he throws that Shakti with all the power onto Ravana's shula, and that shula is now broken. Once his shula is broken, Ravana is immediately shocked, and Sri Ramachandra, the moment he got the advantage, see, this is what Ravana also did the last time. At the moment he got a slight advantage, he went after Matali, he went after the horses, he went after everything of the on Sri Rama's chariot. Sri Rama is now returning back the same favor. He hits Ravana with many arrows, he hits the Sarathi, he hits the horses. The horses are tired now. The Sarathi realizes that Ravana is not able to give it back. And then Sri Ramachandra looks at Ravana and says, oh Ravana, you call yourself a Shura, you call yourself a great warrior. Why are you not able to answer me now? And saying this, he keeps hitting Ravana. Ravana gets very angry. He uses a lot of weapons on Sri Ramachandra. Sri Ramachandra is not even shocked. The way he starts giving back to Ravana, that's huge. Ravana now picks up a lot of weapons and he puts all of them on Sri Ramachandra's Vakshasthala, which is his chest. And Sri Ramachandra takes all of that, and then he again gives huge arrows, and then he hits Ravana. And the way he starts hitting Ravana is that even Ravana is not able to see Sri Ramachandra. That amount, so many arrows were released onto him. There was a temporary darkness between Rama and Ravana. At this point of time, Sri Rama says, O Rakshasadhama, you brought Mama Bharya Janasthanad Ajnanad Rakshasadhama Hrutate Vivasayasmat Smatvam Napi Viryavan. So he's saying, O Rakshasadhama, you brought my wife without my knowledge from Janasthana to here. You are not a Parakramavanta. You are thinking that you are a Veera, you are not a Veera, you are not a Shura. See the way I am hitting you. You don't even have the Ladza, the thing that stops us from doing bad things. You don't even have that in you. Had you come directly to fight me, you would have already met your brother Khara. Then he's saying, the way I am going to release arrows on you, your body is going to be eaten by the Mrugas in the battlefield. And saying this, he starts a volley of arrows on Ravana. Ravana does not have an answer, and the way these arrows were hitting him, he just did not know. And Sri Ramachandra's utsaha, or the feeling that he has to fight well, is taking over Sri Ramachandra now. He is hitting Ravana like anything, and Ravana is not even able to give it back to Sri Ramachandra now, because Ravana is not even able to respond. There are no arrows coming from Ravana onto Rama. All arrows are coming from Rama's direction. Ravana is being hit here, there, everywhere. He is very, very tired. He is not even able to think of as to how to give it back to Rama. At this particular point of time, the Sarathi quickly takes away Ravana from the war. He takes Ravana to another side. Many people say Ravana becomes unconscious and all. No, he doesn't become unconscious. He was just not able to give it back to Sri Ramachandra using the arrows. The moment he realizes that the Sarathi has taken him away from the battlefield, now Ravana looks at his own Sarathi and says, "What is happening? Why did you take me out of this war? I should be back in the war. Now people will laugh at me. Why did you do all this to me and all?" And then the Sarathi says, "Oh Ravana, I am not a person who bring you away like this, but you are very, very tired. You needed at least a moment's rest. I was not afraid. I just wanted to save you. I know that you can get back and you will fight very well. I have been your Sarathi for a long time, but please understand, as a Sarathi, it is my responsibility to ensure that you are safe, my horses are safe, the chariot is in a proper condition. So I had to ensure all these things. Oh Ravana, since I had to ensure all this, I saw that you are not able to fight back. I realized that you needed a few minutes of rest. This is my duty to save you. Hence, I have saved you. Oh Ravana, please don't take it otherwise. And I also need to understand how the Shatru is. The Shatru is now having a lot of enthusiasm in him. At this point of time, when you are not enthusiastic, when you are not remembering your astras, if I keep you there, I will be putting you in the way of harm. Hence, I am taking you away. Then Ravana becomes very happy, and he gives one of his a hasta. So you can think of it like a bracelet sort of thing, and he gives it to Sarathi and says, "Now let us get back to war." Now the Sarathi is bringing the chariot back to the main battlefield. In this gap, in this interim time, there is one rishi who came to see Sri Ramachandra, that is Agasthya. So Agasthya came to the battlefield. He looks at Ravana, he looks at Sri Ramachandra, and he comes to Sri Ramachandra and says, "Oh Sri Ramachandra, I understand that you are also getting very, very tired. I also understand that Ravana is engaging you in a very, very strong war. I have come here to give you a mantra, and if you read this, if you do the anusthana for this, you will be able to defeat Ravana." Saying this, he comes and says, "Rama Rama Mahabaho Sruvishyam Sanatanam." For this, there's a wonderful Vyakhya. Chaganti Koteshwar Rao Garu was doing the Sampurna Ramayana Pravachana. He says, when you like someone, you just don't call them once, you call them twice or thrice, right? If you have a very close friend, or if you have a son whom you like a lot, if you really want them to win, when you're calling them, you will not call, "Hey mister, you come here." You won't call like that, right? You're so anxious. You're anxious that that person should win the war. So imagine the son's name is Vamsi. You'll call them, "Vamsi, Vamsi, come here. I want to tell you something," like that, right? Or if you have a daughter and you give her a good name, let us imagine her name is Rama. "Rama, Rama, come here. I have to tell you something." Like that we will talk, right? Out of that sort of love, Agastya Maharshi comes over there and says, "Rama Rama Mahabaho Sharushim Sanataram Ena Sarvan Marim Vatsan Samarev Jaishasi." I'm giving you this. The moment you do this, you will be able to win over Ravana. This is Sanatana one. This will kill all the Shatrus, and then he'll give the Aditya Hrudayastotram, which has got like 108 names of Aditya. If you look at all of them, sometimes the count even comes to 125. So some of them are repetitive things. He gives this, and then he says, "You do this, you will be able to win over Ravana." So I'm not going through the entire Aditya Hrudaya Stotra, which is a big stotra. He says, "Asmin Kshane Mahabaho Ravanantam Vadhishyasi." The moment you do this, Ravana will die. Sri Ramachandra does Aditya Hrudaya thrice. The moment Sri Ramachandra does it, Agastya leaves that place. Why? Because he was very confident that the moment Aditya Hrudaya Stotra Patana was done, Sri Ramachandra is going to win the battle. That was very, very clear to Agastya Mahamuni. So Sthirachamya Suchirbhuta Dhanuradaya Viryan Ravanam Preksha Hrushtatma Yuddhaya Samupagamat. He did the Achamana, he did the Stotra thrice, and now he was ready for the fight. And now he was waiting for Ravana to come back and fight. So Adityam Preksha Japtvatu Param Harshamavaptvan Trirachimya means he did the Achamana thrice. Achamana Suchirbhutva Dhanuradaya Viryavan. He took Dhanus and he was now ready. Ravanam Preksha Hrushtatma Yuddhardham Samupagamatu Sarvayatnena Mahata Vathetasya Drudo Bhavatu. The moment he did this, he was now very happy and he was now waiting for Ravana to come. And now Ravana is going to come. Now let us see how SriRamachandra and Ravana will have their fight continued. May SriRamachandra bless us so that we will be able to do Ravana Vatha also very soon. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। सर्वं सद्गुरु श्री साई महाराज स्वामी चरणारविन्दार्पणमस्तु। स्वस्ति। जय श्रीराम।